So this is one of the biggest pseudo-intellectuals online. He believes he's way smarter than what he actually is. And he'll come online and do things like flex his IQ. But like I say with the feminists, it doesn't really matter how high your IQ is. If you believe in inherently stupid things, you're going to say and do inherently stupid things. So you can have a high IQ, 2 degrees, a master's. I always reference the Oxford debate that I watched where there were two people, Oxford University, debating whether or not this man, and I don't want to get into it because I don't want to offend anyone on this topic, cut the moon in half. This was a debate that they were having in Oxford. So again, we know when it comes to racism, and this guy is racist, it's an intelligence issue. Your IQ is completely irrelevant. I genuinely despise this guy. I'm gonna be real with you. I've seen enough of his content. He comes online, he says the N-word. He's so smug. He's so smug and arrogant. He's genuinely disgusting.
It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys. Unironically, please. Like, you already have the demographics in Jackson and Detroit. There are zero scenarios where the political outcomes of those cities are not entirely within the parameters of black organization and responsibility. So turn it into Wakanda. Like, I would feel solidarity and pride with a 95% low crime, high productivity black city, or several in the United States. I wouldn't be like, we need to get in there and diversify it. I'd be like, no, let them do their thing. And if a bunch of Caucasians want to go in the woods and milk goats alone, shut up. We've underestimated how central tribalism, like ethnic tribalism, is to the human condition. And in trying to demonize it, we've repressed it to the point that it's now coming back with a vengeance. But it's not innately evil. You can still have in-group preference, a desire to preserve your culture and way of life, and have solidarity with a community of people who are like you, while respecting other groups. And like, let me just say, white people don't care if black people want to be left to their own devices. I promise you.
Now let me get into why racism was the issue with this take and how it made you look so stupid that you had to obviously take down this video. Because you're racist and your innate belief is black people bad, white people good. The idea that black people had already done this, you couldn't fathom it. Which is why you were so smug in your original video. You're licking your lips like some sort of oh no. But you're so smug because in your mind, white people good, black people bad, black people dumb. So there's no way they would have already tried this. And if they would have tried it, surely us great white people would have let it go. I'm pretty sure the first time a bomb was ever dropped on US soil was in a black neighborhood. I'm from the UK. I would consider myself, the older I've gotten, the more pro-black I've become, right? Not in the modern sense, though. I call myself woke, but real woke, not this political nonsense. The more I've interacted with African Americans, Africans, I feel more connected to the diaspora, right? But I knew about this way before that. Way before I was into politics, I knew about the black neighborhoods, Black Wall Street in America. How did you not know about this? And you didn't know, but yet you spoke with such confidence. This is where your racism made you look stupid.
Mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys. Unironically, please.
Oh Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
America perpetuates racism by keeping its white populace severely uneducated, coupled with arrogance and bold delusion, is a recipe for disaster. There's never been a time in American history where white people have left black people to or left black people alone. Here's a picture of all the black massacres that have occurred in America.
Sorry to pause the video here. Imagine knowing, you've got such a high IQ. Imagine knowing the history of America and then also in your mind thinking, yeah, if black people would have started a neighborhood, we would have just left them alone. When has that happened?
And these massacres have occurred in black towns, black places, where the black population was attacked and killed by white people unprovoked. Every time we created a town or safe space, it was burned down or all but destroyed by white people. Lake Lanier was once a thriving black town called Oscarville, resulting in the forced displacement of almost 2,000 black community members, and then it was later dammed and flooded to create Lake Lanier. And Lake Lanier isn't the only time they did this. They also did this in Cowaliga, Alabama. And Seneca Village in Manhattan is the current day Central Park, was once a thriving black neighborhood that had its own post office, own towns, own banks, own schools, and even accepted Irish and Italian immigrants. But then, when it became too prosperous, they said eminent domain, and they created Central Park. One of the most famous ones is the Tulsa Massacre, which was Black Wall Street, even as recent as 1985, the year I was born, where police officers in Philadelphia dropped bombs on black neighborhoods in Philadelphia. And those neighborhoods have never fully recovered today. So, if you...
That was in 1985? I did not know that part.
You want to come online, and I think this is like a grifting tactic they do to make money to appeal to uneducated, poor, white nationalist Republicans, and say things like black people are poor because they're poor. No, let's talk about the systematic reasons why black people don't have their own neighborhoods and have lower rates of housing ownership than white people, in addition to white people destroying towns. Redlining. If you're not aware what redlining is, a systematic approach to preventing black people from entering neighborhoods designed and restrict and reserved wholly for white people. The GI Bill. When your great grandfather and grandfather came back from the wars, my grandfather wasn't allowed to get a loan to buy houses, which largely and almost wholly is responsible for the white middle class that exists today. He wasn't allowed to get health care. He wasn't allowed access to education, which your families were, which then provided you to have generational wealth. There's a myriad of reasons as to why we can look up historically and factually why there's a disproportionate level of homeownership between white families and black families, and generational wealth between white families and black families in this country. And it all stems down to racism. It's getting increasingly frustrating in this country to see white grifters come online and just say a bunch of clickbait headlines and talking points to appeal to those people who are actually dumb and don't know anything about the history of this country, just the lies that were perpetuated and told to you. I hope you took a shower today. And if you do, wash your legs and your feet.
It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start.
Look at the lip licking, man. Like a fucking dog.
A functioning black community.
I know for a fact that my brothers and sisters is tired of reminding you mediocre-minded Neanderthals about the history of your own fucking people. But don't worry, because I'm not tired. I will remind you every time, even though I made videos of this in the past, and I've seen other creators make videos of this in the past. We will remind you every single time. If ain't nobody else will do it, I will fucking do it. Some white folks are going to Arkansas and Utah and having a white-only land that they're building, and they're saying it's return to the land. I don't know the land you're returning to, but that's what it's called. And every single black person that I
swear down, man. The fact that we have to occupy space with these people is incredible, man. Genuinely, it's incredible. Return to the land. A bunch of Europeans. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like we're living in a psyop or something. And again, this is another case, another reason how you know we have lost. We lost. We have to sit here and listen to this bullshit, return to the land. What the fuck are you talking about? You're from Britain. You're Spanish. Dutch. German. Are you returning to... That's the land that you should be returning to. What? Imagine how the Native Americans must feel. Like, listen to this bullshit. And we just have to, like, just accept it.
Seen talk about this said, please go, leave us alone. And y'all still don't understand that we don't give a fuck. And for you to say something like this without knowing your history, let me just remind you. I know everybody always goes straight to Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, but let me just tell y'all, so many places that y'all don't even think about other than just the main historical. This is just the largest example. This right here up top says Belmont and Chevy Chase. Let's go to my hometown. Let's just start here. Because Belmont and Chevy Chase is a space that a lot of black lawyers, doctors, and other type of philanthropists have came together to build a black community of affluent families. In Chevy Chase, Maryland, there's only a plaque left. And you know why? Because they were threatening developers, pulling strings, using their power, threatening the black people, using physical force just to make sure that black people wouldn't have their own little community. Green Valley, Queen City. So after Civil War, they took over Robert E. Lee's land and they had Freedom Village. After Freedom Village, they built this black community of affluent black families that was working for the government in Arlington, Virginia. So they decided to build the Pentagon. They used those black people in those communities to build the Pentagon, used the architecture for the roads, used those workers, and then they tore down their neighborhoods and built highways and roads to get to the Pentagon and parking lots. Warren, Baltimore, Rosewood, Florida, Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Alabama, Oscarville, Seneca Valley, New York, Ocoee, Florida, Portsmouth, Ohio, Salina, Tennessee. Oh, this list goes on and on and on. Every single time. These lists and communities of people are not all from the 1800s either. Some of these are the 1960s. That's my parents' generation. My mom was born in 1965. My dad was born in 1963. Y'all wouldn't let us have shit. Not to mention, if we just pull up some CIA files of all the different ways that they were just planning and plotting, trying to oppress us. Like, why do we have to continue to remind y'all? And let me just tell you this. Every time y'all build these whites only land, and you say only conservative Christian whites are allowed, let me remind you, every time we built the black community, it never said whites aren't allowed. It never said Hispanics aren't allowed.
It's because we're just different. You know, we have to be, I'm gonna just say how it is, man. There's a certain selection of white people that there's something wrong with them. Genetically, biologically, I don't know what it is, right? They are the most hateful demographic on the planet. Whenever they unify in whiteness, it's not really about being proud about being white. It's about hating on other people. That's not the same for black people. When we unify about, black unity, pro-blackness, we're just doing that, just celebrating blackness. Doesn't mean that anyone else is necessarily excluded or we're hating on anyone else. So in the first video, when they mentioned the black only and they were letting in the Italian and the Irish, makes sense because that's the type of people we are. Generally speaking, that's the type of people we are. We don't have whatever biological defect that, these other folks have. But yeah, you guys let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Genuinely, I hate that guy, man. He makes me sick. I might put some of his videos in. I don't know, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone.